Welcome back to the USA Cards Museum. Today we're stepping into a room that's personal, the Randy Moss exhibit. Back in 1998, when Moss was exploding onto the NFL scene, I was just finishing college and getting ready to step into my career. And in a way, so was he. He was entering the league and I was quietly stepping away from the hobby. But some players stick with you. And even though I didn't start building his PC back then, deep down I always knew Randy Moss would be someone that I would come back to. And I did just that about a couple of years ago at the Dallas Card Show. It started with this 2017 flawless dual auto of Justin Jefferson and Randy Moss. It's the card that reignited everything for me. It was two Viking legends. It was two eras, one card. And even though I don't own it anymore, that card reawakened something. It connected past and present. And it reminded me that Moss wasn't just a memory. He was unfinished business in my collecting journey. And that was what sparked the entire run of cards that you're going to see here today. Let's start with the 1999 Bowman Chrome Stock in the Game Refractor. I love this card because it captures perfectly what collecting felt like in the late 90s. It was when the hobby started to feel like Wall Street. People started investing in players. People started buying stock. You were betting on upside. And by 1999, when this card was made, Randy Moss wasn't just speculation anymore. He was blue chip. He dominated in his rookie year, and he was established as the face of the Vikings. Moss was going to be an investment at this point. Bowman knew it, Topps knew it, and I think collectors knew it as well. Next, we're moving on to the 2008 Topps Chrome Refractor. This is Randy in New England. This represents a fully validated Randy Moss after his failed stint in Oakland, where people began to question his ability at 30 years old. Nowadays, 30 years old, you're just hitting your stride. The 23 touchdown season had just happened, and he wasn't just explosive. He was historic. And this is when refractors were still respected, This is when you pulled one or two per box. This is record book Randy Moss right here. And it's well centered. It's fairly clean and not expensive. People say that the hobby is getting away from us and it's just too expensive. And while that can be correct, depending on what part of the hobby you're, consuming, there is still lots of room for really important cards of really important players. And this is a good example of that. Next, 2 years later, we have the 2010 Topps Chrome Refractor. This one isn't the most valuable by far, but that's not why it's here in my collection. There was a time when pulling a refractor, even a base refractor like this, felt like a hit, before everything was numbered, when shine was enough. If I would have pulled this out of a pack back then, I would have been pumped. This card represents appreciation, not hype, not scarcity, just respect for a new design of cards and a legend who was rounding out his career. Now we'll get into some of the graded stuff. The 1998 Fleer Brilliance Shining Stars Pulsar Rookie. As I mentioned before, the late 90s design was taking the hobby to a new level. There had been refractors before, but they were all seemingly works in progress. You had the 96 greening, and You had the really dark refractors Upper Deck was making. And, then you had cards like this where it seems like everything just jumps off the cardboard. I mean, that looks like an Astro Pop. The shine on this card is insane. And it fits because that's how Randy Moss' rookie year was. It was explosive and loud. There was nothing subtle about it. This card represents Randy's arrival. Next, we're going to go to one of the pillars of my Randy Moss PC, the Bowman Chrome Rookie Refractor 1998 and PSA 10 condition. Bowman Chrome, known for its rookie cards, its refractor finish. PSA, known for its gem mint grade, everything coming together in this card. And these were condition sensitive. Centering was almost impossible. Surface difficult as well. But this was about getting a piece of Randy Moss in his rookie season when everyone already knew he was going to be something incredible. This was 90s collecting at its peak. 1998 had so many great rookies in basketball too. Next, let's go to probably his most iconic rookie, and that being the 1998 Topps Chrome Rookie Refractor, also in a PSA 10. It's the other pillar. For many collectors, this is the Moss Refractor Rookie. Clean, classic. These two PSA 10 rookie cards definitely anchor the collection. And I bought them at a time when they were on their way up. They've almost doubled since I've gotten them in the collection, and that has only been a couple years. The hobby has grown so much, though, that staple cards of staple players like these cards here have really found a new appreciation, and a lot more people are looking for them and willing to spend to get them. And that is why we've seen a jump in almost any iconic player's iconic rookie cards. So let's move out of staple Randy Moss and look at some scarcity. This next one is the 1998 Fleer Brilliance Gold rookie out of 99 in a BGS 9, one of the old BGS flips with the subgrades on the back. This one being 61 of 99. Late 90s numbered parallels meant something. They weren't overproduced. They weren't gimmicks. They were scarce, and they were unicorns, and you just didn't see them. And to have one of his true golds, even though it's out of 99, represents the rarity that I'm looking for in a Randy Moss rookie that is still somewhat affordable. Now, of course, there's the 24 karat gold out of the same set with an even deeper golden shine, and that one's out of 24. But the last time I saw that card, it was a PSA 9, and the price tag was $55,000. So needless to say, that is out of the museum budget at the moment. Next, let's go from scarcity to iconic. This is the 2000 Bowman Chrome Refractor Randy Moss in a BGS 9.5. Third year for Moss. Third Bowman Chrome card. But the 2000 Bowman Chrome set is a staple in the hobby. It's the Tom Brady rookie set. And the refractors from 2000 Bowman Chrome are iconic. They're part of hobby history. How much does the Tom Brady refractor do in any grade? Upwards of 6 figures for sure. This is owning Moss in one of the most important football releases ever made. Chrome was king. Moss had already cemented himself as one of the best in the game. I really feel like this set, especially the refractors, has legs. Everybody knows about them, the Brady, but there are so many other great cards in this set that will always be tied to the Brady rookie that it just makes sense that when you see these stripes and this copper border, when you see that, you're going to know right away that's an iconic football card, no matter who's on the front. So if you've got a guy back in 2000 Bowman Chrome, go get him, especially if you can find the refractor. Let's move from scarcity into rarity. These don't last long. If they do surface, they disappear pretty quickly into the hands of serious collectors. Price tag on this one is around 5 to 6K in a BGS 9.5. And I only see that going up as Flair Showcase, especially Legacy Collection Row Zeros, are one of the most coveted parallels in football collecting history. So when I found this, I had to make a play. And I actually made a trade for this at the Dallas Card Show that I've talked about before, but gave a nice Luka Contenders playoff rookie auto for this. Got this and some cash back on that. So definitely a deal I would do again, but one of my favorites in the Moss PC. Next, we're going to move out of the graded cards portion of the Moss PC into the One Touch. Let's start with the 2019 NFL 100 Greats. Super hard to find, super rare. Talk about disappearing into collectors' pockets when they surface. The NFL 100 Greats set was only made in 2019 Flawless. It's a premium card from a premium subset, out of 5, sapphire finish, on-card auto. They get snapped up by collectors almost immediately. It's a tribute to the 100 greatest players, and although it does not number the players, you can guess that Randy's pretty high. Got this in a Facebook group. It surfaced and I pounced, and I haven't seen another Moss listed since I bought it a couple years ago. Like I said, these just go quick. Do a search on eBay for 2019 Flawless 100 greats, 100 NFL greats, and see what you can find. There might be a couple, but they're either pricey or they're of less desirable players. But this one is special to me. All right, next. 2017 Flawless Game Used Auto. Out of 10. Flawless does game used right, don't they? And with fewer and fewer game used patch cards coming out in today's products, I feel like this is another part of the hobby that has legs. The game used patch, especially with the on-card auto. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any Moss Viking game used patches to surface, at least not in premium sets with on-card autos. Seems like all of the Flawless game used or National Treasures game used Randy Moss cards are with the Patriots. And while he was, breaking records with Tom Brady, I still would like to get a card that nods back to his early days when he was the Freak in Minnesota. Hopefully Topps will perhaps make a dynasty card that features Randy as a Viking. There's got to be old game used Viking jerseys out there, although they're probably pricey at this point for a guy like Moss. But happy to have this. 4 colors, chunky patch. And then finally, the highlight, the centerpiece in the room of the Moss PC, and that is the 2017 Flawless Reebok patch, game used, 1 of 1, not player worn, not event worn, game used. Companies, like we said before, they're shifting toward player worn, and they're hoping collectors won't notice or won't care, but they're wrong. We're always going to notice. We're always going to care. And a patch like this will always command attention, respect, and big bucks. 1 of 1. Back when Reebok was making the NFL jerseys. Iconic. Classic. And we're talking about one of the greatest wide receivers to ever do it. A lot of people talk about Jerry Rice being number 1 at the receiving position. And while Rice owns the longevity, Moss owned the ceiling. I don't think anyone was ever better than Randy Moss. If we're drafting one receiver in his absolute prime, no rings, no context, just talent, I'm taking number 84 all day long. And that's why I will continue to build the Randy Moss PC. But for now, we're going to have to leave it here. See if I can get all these in here. Thanks again, as always, for tuning in. I enjoy walking through these PCs with you because I get to get excited about them all over again. And it's easy to get excited about the Freak. So thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take care.